Alright, we're going to start an abstract series today in Architectural Abstraction. We'll see, it's going to be part of a series of 4, so we'll see how it goes. Wish me luck. So the question of the day is, what other occupation did Vincent van Gogh do? Alright, let's run through the colors. Mars black, red oxide, phthalo blue, titanium white, phthalo green, quin red, Pirelli red. Let's get the party started. For the next stage, we have this nice dark Pirelli red. We're going to add a phthalo blue, more gloss in it, so we get a lot more transparency. So we'll see where it goes from here. Alright, we just laid in the blue. This is a little wet, so I'm going to avoid this area. Usually I wait till it's completely dry so you can have the option of doing whatever you want. I used to do that in the beginning. That's a mistake. You never want to work with, unless you're doing wet and oil, or you want that effect where kind of the paint folds off, because that's what acrylic will do, just pull that paint right off. So I got to be careful working in this area. I'm going to avoid that area. Normally I wouldn't do that, so I could have the option to use that area, but in this case, I think I'm going to work here and here real quick, so we'll see. Hopefully it works well. Alright, we just added some detail on the white to kind of make this pop out. That was originally the blue, and then underneath that is the red, of course. So now what we're going to do is add a red iron oxide and kind of fill in some of the white areas and add more complexity. We just added this nice iron oxide contrast, and then what we're going to do is to contrast this in the green, we're going to have a lighter green which will kind of parallel with this as well as contrast with the dark purple, so we'll see how that plays. Became an art dealer when he was younger and worked at an art dealer, but he kind of fell out because they commoditized the art, right? It's like, dude, you're selling art, you got to commoditize it. Anyway, so after that he decided to become a missionary, and he hung out the missionary, went to school, but then he had kind of a falling out with the missionary and dropped out of that, and then later he became a painter. So he had this kind of secret life as a missionary, which kind of gives you a lot of perspective of the mental state of Van Gogh, that he is very philosophical, and you can see it in his letters. He wrote over 600 letters, so it's a really autobiography kind of letters about what he's going through as an artist and everything. So yeah, it's a really interesting perspective on Van Gogh. And he proposed several times to different women, and he got rejected several times, or his family rejected it, so it's really awful in a way. Because probably if he had gotten married and his wife had kind of helped him on his mental state, he might have survived and done much better and maybe lived as long as Monet, who knows? It's hard to say at this point. But he was quite active sexually, because he had gonorrhea and then he had syphilis at one point. So he's obviously going to prostitutes because he couldn't date normal women because he didn't make any income. So yeah, this probably led a lot to his mental decline and his health, you know. He didn't die of any sexual disease, but definitely going through different bouts of that would have kind of messed you up mentally, to have all these different partners who don't really care about you and just are there for your money, versus an actual real partner that would help you out in life. So yeah, I think, yeah, it's a pretty interesting life of Vincent van Gogh. Everyone knows about him as an artist because he's kind of the glamorized artist who never made it, you know, the guy who's suffered for his art. But yeah, he's an interesting guy. He lived briefly as a missionary, trying to become a man of God. All right, that's my question of the day. All right, we just finished the painting. Let's take a closer look. All right, so we have this kind of, I added the green, the last layer. It has a nice contrast with the orange. A little bit more translucent, closer to the green, so it's got a little bit of interplay between the greens. Good balance with the reds. The green is really nice. Overall, I think this is a pretty good painting. Let me turn on this light. That's better, right? I forgot to take that back on. Yeah, I think I'm going to add a little bit of touch-up. There's a little parts where the paint kind of flaked off due to the tape, which is really aggressive. So I'll probably touch that up a little bit. So it might look a little different than the photo that I'm putting up, but you got to fix those things that don't look quite right. Should be a quick fix, and yeah, hopefully you guys like it. I like it, and if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe below, and I'll see you in the next painting video. Thanks for watching, guys.